What's up, guys? I'm Kels.
I'm Queso.
I'm Sage.
I'm Gabby.
And you're back with the Life is Weird podcast. So today, we're going to be talking about mommy issues.
Y'all thought y'all was safe, mamas.
You did. You thought you was safe. But we got to hit the mamas too, because, we hit the daddies. But before we get started, this week's acronym for weird is Women Existing is Really Dope.
And that's on period.
Self-explanatory because we're really up.
And it's on there.
I think this is going to drop on Mother's Day too.
Yeah,
or the day before.
Oh my gosh.
Happy
so
Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. Y'all thought y'all
Love
was
you guys, trauma. But yeah, no. But we love all mamas. We just want to be, transparent about some of the things that we've been through as the children of mamas. Also, our shameless plug for today is Chinatown Hair Hustle. So if you can look at my beautiful braids.
Get into it.
Yes.
Wow, she did a good job for real.
Done by CT Hair Hustle herself. Yesterday, they fresh. You got the human hair, got this braid. Shout out to my sis.
Very cute.
Doing her thing.
I think China's done touched all of our heads
No,
at one
seriously.
point in time. We love
She
China.
definitely
sure.
has. She definitely has. And you can follow her on Instagram at ct.hairhustle on IG. I think she's only on IG for now.
The city's
so.
favorite hustler.
Yeah, the city's favorite hustler.
Period.
So we love you, girl. Shout out
Love
to you.
you.
Keep doing your thing. So before we get into this main topic, we actually have a recap segment of our last episode, which was Daddy Issues. We had a YouTube comment from Off Topic K. That's their YouTube name. And this was just a comment on, I guess, everything. He said, such an emotional topic. I myself had relationship issues with my dad growing up because we are a lot like the same person, good and bad. I try to learn myself more every day to avoid some mistakes. Thanks for touching on this topic. So,
Shout out to you, yeah.
And that's Kamal, my friend. Hey, Kamal. Appreciate your comment.
Hi, Sage's friend. So thank you for that comment. We just love being transparent and being able to have healing moments, not only for ourselves, but being able to do that and allowing other people to open up to us and open up with themselves and their other friends and family and loved ones. So thank you for that. And we love that we are helping that or doing that for you. So,
For sure.
all right, y'all. Y'all ready?
We ready.
All right.
You see how the energy is so different for this episode.
It's so different.
It's so
y'all,
different.
last episode we were quiet, and y'all know we are not quiet people. So,
Quiet crying.
man, okay, but yeah. So, first question: how would you describe your current relationship standing with your mom? Is it me first?
It could be. You want to pop it off?
Okay, so me and my mom, we cool. So we weren't always the best, but I think the greatest thing that both my mom and myself have done is have self-awareness. And I think my mom realized that there was a lot of trauma from her childhood that she had to heal. And I was her first kid, and she had me at 26. And at first, I was like, that's a good age. And then I turned 26, and I was like, oh, hell no. I couldn't have had no baby right now. So it's like I had to give my mom a lot of grace because I was like, had I had a child, and I'm 27, I'm about to be 28. Had I had a child at 26,
Yeah.
no. So I commend my mom for doing the work that she did and doing so much. And shout out to my grandma, because my grandma wasn't horrible, but she had a different love language. And for my mom to have done so much emotional and mental work for herself to be better for her kids. So shout out to my mom. We have a great relationship now. We don't always agree, but she's mom.
Yeah.
So,
It's going to happen.
yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. What about y'all?
I would say my mom and I are like best friends.
No,
Shout out to Mama
seriously.
Mars.
Love my
My
mom.
Love
mom
Mama Mars.
is like everybody's mom. Like, you ever have that friend where it's like their mom is like, you call them mom, and like you could come over the house and just, even if I'm not at the house or something, I know my friends could come over and like chop it up with my mom and like kick it with my mom. Like, my mom was just at the wine festival with us.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, she
like-
really was one of the girls. Like, for real.
Super lit.
she's at first I used to think we were so different, but now as like I'm getting older, I realize we're a lot more similar than I realized. My mom, she's great. Like, she really keeps me focused. She motivates me. She's just my best friend. Like, there's nothing that I can't tell her, and there was a point when, like, you know, I would have secrets and stuff and, like, hide things from my mom. But now I could, like, honestly say there's nothing that my mom doesn't know about me. Even the stuff that people would be like, oh, you tell your mom that? Yes. My mom knows absolutely everything about me. Like, shout out to you, girl. That's my best friend.
Here
My best friend. My best friend.
wanna go?
Sure. So yeah, my relationship with my mom is good. I feel like we all, and I think we'll touch on this later, but like we all have that rough patch with our mothers at a point where you really start becoming a woman. You start speaking up for yourself, and your mom was like, "Ooh, this is new. Who's that?" You know, we
Not too
definitely
much.
had that. But our relationship now is great. But like, so just like you said, you have a relationship where you tell your mama everything, even when it comes to the guys that you're talking to. I don't really tell my mom about like the guys that I talk to for real. But that just could be me because I just feel like, you know, the niggas I be talking to don't deserve to be known about my family.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and I don't be playing about niggas knowing my family. I'm like, y'all, I've said this in a previous episode. I'm gonna say it again. You're not meeting my family unless we've been together for at least 3 months.
Facts.
And guys don't get to that point. So,
6 months for me.
you know, but other than that, like, I definitely, like, I don't mind opening up to my mom about a lot of other things.
Right.
But there definitely was a lot of, like, growth that had to happen in our relationship. And we're still growing, but that definitely is the girl who I'm calling up after that long day at work, or, like, if you just need a vent. So that's my girl. That's my girl.
Period. Me and my mom, we're definitely close still. I've kind of just personally been going through like a weird time of life where I've kind of been secluding myself, like especially in my house. Like I kind of just I've been kind of staying to myself lately. But she, you know, she always shows concern, and sometimes I'm just like, okay, leave me alone. But I always appreciate it deep down inside. I do. But no, yeah, we're definitely good. I would say we're good. We do talk about a lot of things, I would say. We do talk about a lot of things. Some things I keep to myself just because I don't know how she would really feel, or I just don't want that judgment or that occasional nagging of things, of decisions that I may make. But we're good. No, yeah, we're good. I love her. That's my fave for sure.
Yeah, and I love that you brought that up, Kay, so that I think every mother-daughter relationship, even the best mother-daughter relationships, go through that weird patch because, you know, when we start hitting puberty and we start coming into womanhood,
Oh, for sure.
it's like I'm coming into my own, but okay, that's still my mama. So I think we start smelling ourselves a little bit, you know?
And trying to be respectful without being disrespectful, but still speaking up for yourself.
Right.
I was disrespectful.
I was about to say,
I was slick at the mouth.
yeah.
I was slick at the mouth. I'm not
I
even
was
gonna-
slick at the
Mama,
mouth.
I'm being
I'm still
transparent.
slick at the mouth.
A little
I'm being
bit.
transparent, Mom.
Sometimes.
I was slick at the mouth, but there were also moments where I had to kind of not even stand up for myself because my mom has always had my best interest in mind. I think one thing that moms, well, parents in general, but especially moms, when it comes to their daughters, they don't realize like we're gonna still make our own mistakes.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know as a woman you don't want me to make the mistakes that you did, but some of those mistakes I've learned from. You know what I mean? But it's also like, I would rather have a mom who was like that and actually cares than a mom who didn't give a damn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
You start thinking for yourself, like you start having your own ideals, because like I feel like, you know, our parents instill certain things in us, but as you get older, you're able to decide, okay, I like this I didn't really like, so I'm gonna unlearn that and relearn something different, and like that can also kind of shake things up a little bit.
That's true.
But
But you can use that as a foundational base,
right?
And like you said, grow from there.
Yeah.
So I think that's a healthy way to look at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's interesting to hear that because our moms were once us.
I know, it's so weird.
And it's like we're the new adults, really, not really, because
weird.
I still watch SpongeBob.
Like I just can't picture somebody yelling Marjorie on the playground. Like,
get back here.
like I don't know. For a long time, I never could see my mom outside of
As a
like that
child,
adult
yeah.
Yeah.
phase.
Yeah.
Like even when I look at baby pictures of her, like she's had the same face her whole life. You know?
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. If
It's
y'all
just-
don't know, me and my mom, I'm a clone.
No, Kelsey's literally,
I'm a
yeah.
clone.
literally
I
a
will-
clone.
I will, if you know, you know. But you know how people be looking like they moms? I'm legit my mother.
Your mom
Spitting
spit you out.
image.
Reincarnated.
Spitting
Like, it's,
image.
I know
It's
what I'm gonna look like when I
scary.
get older, though.
It's just weird. Like, I think, like you guys said, basically, like, trying to think of your parents as, like, people first before
Yeah.
parents is something
It's-
that it can be difficult
It comes
to
with
do.
age, for sure.
It
Yeah.
definitely comes with age
Facts.
because, like, that phase when we was, like, talking about when we were slick at the mouth, I remember I told my mom I hated her one time.
I did, bro.
In front of my friends. And
damn.
yes.
Did I ever tell my mom that? I'm pretty sure I wrote it in my
told my
I don't
diary.
think I've
mom-
ever said
I
that.
told my mom I hated her. I knew I wasn't allowed to spend a night at people's house.
Oh,
So she would let
okay.
me stay late. You know, when your friends hype you up, ask your mom, because if you ask her, she gonna say
Mm-hmm.
no. But
Man, what?
she came to pick me up, and she was like, okay, it's time to go. And I was like, can I just stay? And she was like, no. And I was like, please. And she was like, no. And she's looking at me like, get your ass in this car. And I'm still pushing.
How old are
And
you?
old enough to know better. You know, not to get down.
Middle school,
I
high
was
school?
probably in, I want to say I was in middle school.
Okay.
I think I was like 6th grade, maybe 7th. So what is that, like 12, 13?
Probably.
Sixth
11
grade, 7th, that's
even?
11, 12.
Maybe
-ish.
11,
Yeah, like
11, 12 -ish.
Yeah, between that and I remember she was like, it's time to go, something like that. And I was like, this is why I hate you. I'd rather live with Auntie Tanya.
Oh my God.
Ooh.
I'd have whooped
She
your
let
ass.
me- she let me feel it. Like, I thought she was going to go off on me.
She had you silent treatment.
Bro, what? Yes.
That is the
Because
worst.
That was
you
the
still
worst.
hurt your
That
mom's
is the
feelings.
And that's the thing. I
Yeah.
couldn't think of it that way.
Yeah.
Like, at the moment, I just, like, I
It's
knew
like you're
I
a
said
mom.
something wrong, but I was
Yeah.
acting out of emotion, but I didn't think about how it would impact her. So,
Yeah.
like, you know, she hit me with the, like, I'm disappointed in you. I'm disappointed in you hits way different than, like, you know,
Yelling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
And
does.
then I remember I ended up writing her a letter and stuff to apologize, and I was like crying apologetic because she definitely gave me the silent treatment because she was
Yeah.
hurt. And I definitely, like, now that I'm older, I realize how if I was a mom, how I would have been hurt.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah,
Or
that
how would you
would've-
have responded to that? Say you have a child and your daughter tells you she hates you. How would you respond?
see,
to that?
I don't
that's
know.
See,
I don't know.
I'm an asshole, so I'd have been like, damn, that sucks. You can get in the car, though.
I don't know. I think I probably would have just been like, I might have done the same thing.
Yeah,
like,
I
so
so
taken
sometimes when
aback.
you don't have the right words, sometimes just saying
probably
nothing
would've
says
said
a
the same
lot.
thing.
Speaks volume.
Like,
Make
I
them
don't
feel
know.
it for
Because
real.
knowing that your kid's just being dramatic, and I know I'm dramatic, so I'm like, if my daughters are anything like me, they're probably gonna be dramatic. So I'm gonna be like, okay, girl, it's gonna be okay. You can get in the car though. It's time to go. Love you too.
It's scary.
I'm saying that now, but that probably
Right.
Like, I think as a mom, it feels a little different, but
Have y'all ever? So this is a little off topic. Have y'all ever called y'all moms out their name?
no.
Okay, me neither.
Like
you know how we said, oh, we could get a
Janine?
little disrespect. No, like you ever like,
like,
bitch.
I'm a name.
yeah,
Like,
Hell
to her
no.
face?
yeah.
No.
Hell no.
Hell no.
No, me neither. I just okay, because you know I said sometimes we be getting a little disrespectful, a little slick at the mouth. I'm like, how
Not like that.
disrespectful?
No, no,
Okay.
no. I would
Okay.
not be walking this earth. I would not be
this
walking
podcast would not exist. We would all been dead.
I would not be here.
No way.
This would have been a solo show
Gotcha.
because I wouldn't be here.
Gotcha.
Goddamn. But yeah, so interesting to know. So when you think of motherhood, right? What excites you or scares you the most based on what is that? On how you've seen it. Can't read. For me personally, what,
You're not gonna reread the question without a laugh?
no,
And you didn't even finish it.
Yeah.
Reread it. Just yeah.
Please.
Just reread.
Y'all are annoying. It's supposed to be authentic. When you think of motherhood, what excites you or scares you the most based on how you've seen your own mom maneuver motherhood? I actually didn't see that third row. My bad.
So I was like,
My bad.
You gonna finish?
My bad. It's on me.
I mean, no.
whoever.
I mean, I could say mine. I would say what excites me the most is really just like having that bond that you really can't compare to anything
Yeah.
else. Like, that's my person. I push them out. Like that unconditional love that I'm sure that you feel from, you know, for something that you created. I think that's a beautiful thing for sure.
They literally
And-
half of you. That's wild to
Yeah,
think of.
yeah, and being able to, you know, I guess like rework mistakes that may have been made on you, just having that gratification of, you know, raising a child that you can be proud of.
Yeah.
But what scares me is childbirth.
Yes.
Ooh.
Hell yes.
Like
Labor is weird.
I don't see how anyone could just get pregnant and just be like,
Pushing
I'm
them
pregnant
out.
and just get pregnant by anybody, because you could die.
No.
You can,
literally.
your hair could fall out, your teeth could fall out.
Like,
You can go into
your
heart
nipples can fall
failure.
off.
Yeah.
Black
go
women
paralyzed.
have a much higher mortality rate when it comes to childbirth than other races. So I definitely feel that.
Come on, public
My
health.
doctor, my nurse could ignore me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard
Let
horror
me
stories.
suffer.
Yeah.
Or
From
like
people.
even induce you based on their schedule. We're like, well, I gotta leave by 9 p.m. So I'm gonna go ahead and induce
Like,
you so that
this
we can
is-
get it, baby.
Right. Like, this is my
Wild.
life
Yeah.
and my child's life or children's life.
Yeah.
You might have twins, whatever. But
That scares me so
Yeah.
bad. But yeah, that, and then also just seeing how far social media has come now.
yeah.
However, it's gonna be by the time we have kids,
Child.
scares me. Just
Yeah.
technology in general.
And
This
the
AI shit.
influence that it can have on
Yeah.
them.
Oh,
is
this scary.
It's very scary.
It's scary.
Yeah.
Because this
These
still
kids
has
are
influence
crazy.
on us
Yeah.
as adults, I guess, if that's what you want to call us. But
Yeah.
You know, like young girls are so impressionable,
Yeah.
you know, so like to have all of this social media stuff like be their like influence and like they're ingesting and seeing these things on the daily basis and feel
Yeah.
like they gotta live it. We say it all the time. We're like, these 14-year-olds are different than when we was
Girl.
14. I didn't get
These
my
kids
first
are out of their
sew-in
mind.
until I was in like 12th
that
grade.
too.
for
I was
prom.
16 for prom. That was my first sew-in ever in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like now you
Literally
see
16
girls
prom.
in 9th grade with a 30-inch bust down. I'm like,
With a beat
Who's
face.
with a full
who's
beat face.
affording
I
this?
had
Like,
on that Aeropostale with that eyeshadow and you couldn't tell me
I
nothing.
did a little mascara and a lip gloss and called
Had
it a
on
day.
that Bobby Jack.
That Bobby Jack. The Bobby
That was more like
Jack.
elementary school.
I was
but
like, yeah.
The Juicy Couture, bro. My grandma used to buy me
Justice.
the velour Juicy Couture sweatsuits with
Oh,
the matching
you
earrings.
couldn't tell
You
me
couldn't tell me a damn
anything.
thing. Okay?
It was baby fat for me.
I was about to say baby fat.
It was baby fat for me.
Baby fat.
One thing my mama was
Rocawear, all
gonna do,
them.
Kelsey was gonna be dressed down, and that was period. Shout out to you.
What's something a little kind of like a sidebar, but what's something like y'all would tell, I guess, younger girls, you know, since we've kind of had, you know, experience, been there, done that, but like based off of like that social media influence that Sage is talking about, like what's something that you would tell, I guess, your 14-year-old self or the young girls out here now who were looking towards social media to like fill whatever void they may not be getting from their moms or other friends or whatever.
That's tough.
I think based on social media, it's not really a void. I think I would just tell my 14-year-old self, like, based off of what I saw, it's okay that you're taller than your friends. It's okay that you're taller than some of the boys that you know. And that doesn't make you weird. That doesn't make you a freak. You're beautiful. Your legs is beautiful. You gonna get taller.
Yeah.
So it's all right. It's only up from here, literally. So love
Yeah.
yourself, sub. Walk in the room, command the room, cause they gonna see you regardless.
Yeah.
Try not to compare yourself.
Try not to compare yourself.
these
And remember, it's not real.
unrealistic beauty standards.
That's the
Not
biggest
real.
thing. I'm like, y'all are comparing yourselves to unrealistic beauty standards. These girls are photoshopping their face.
Getting surgery.
Okay, getting surgery,
Photoshopping
manipulating
their
their
body.
body through
To each
apps.
its own.
Like, why are you sitting here trying to
Yeah.
compare yourself to something that literally is
Isn't real.
manipulated? That
You
isn't
gotta see
real.
it
Social
through
media
it.
is not real. It's a highlight reel of everybody's lives.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's why these young girls are so like eager to like look a certain way and dress a certain way and
That's
but
true.
I'm like, y'all, like
Not to
be a
shit on
14-year-old,
anybody.
be a 13-year-old, be a 12-year-old. But yeah, not to shit on anybody, but
Who
like
has
young
surgery, because like to each his own.
Listen,
but
Yeah.
it's
Get
a
that
little
body done,
dangerous
sis.
when you do that.
right? Or like
You know.
when young girls are thinking about it, and it's like, baby, you haven't even fully matured. Your body
That
hasn't
come
developed, and you're
naturally. You
already
don't
wanting
even
to
know.
manipulate your body.
Yeah.
When someone did it at 30, you're like,
You literally are
you're
just now
developing
hitting
still.
the precipice of puberty. Like,
Yes.
Enjoy your childhood,
Please.
okay?
Yeah.
Because
Go
like
outside, touch some grass.
as much
go outside
literally,
and touch some
Touch
grass.
grass. Some
because
air.
enjoy your childhood because I don't think y'all really realize that like adulthood when it comes
Ghetto.
like it hits you
Ghetto.
full
Punch you in your
edge.
Goddamn
Like,
gut.
there's
Shit
no
is
manual
ghetto.
on how to be an adult. There's no manual on how to survive in the world, all this stuff. My dad always says from the time you're 18 to the time you're 30, your life is going to fly by. And now as I'm approaching 25, I can't even tell you. I feel like I just got moved into my dorm, bro. And
like I just turned 21. But also COVID kind of messed it up.
Yeah. And I'm damn near 30, together. So it's like,
yeah, no, seriously.
It's scary. And it varies per generation too. So I've noticed like our parents can only tell us so much about how they were going into their 20s and their 30s, but their 20s and their 30s
looked way different.
Economy that we live in now,
exactly.
So
the social scene that it's different. So it's only you
gotta
no
take
manual.
it
Your dad
with
is
a
right.
grain of
There's
salt,
no
man.
manual. There's no manual.
Yeah, and even though we have our parents as a reference, they still don't know everything,
right?
You know, and like when it comes to advice on like things that I want to do in life, I can't necessarily go to my mom because she doesn't know. My mom was a military girl, so she's like, girl, you want to pursue nursing and dance? I'm the wrong person. You know, but she always said, and this is one thing that, and this is a question later where it's like, you know, things that you want to teach your children that your mom taught you. My mom was like, okay, you need to go to a farmer to learn how to farm. You need to go to a dentist to learn how to be a dentist, right? So like, if you can't come to me for certain things, like if you got to reach out to other people in the community, because she can't always give me the answers, you know? So she was like, you know, I can tell you, you know, what I would do. I can give you advice, but like there's certain things that I cannot tell you because I don't know.
Right.
You know?
It takes a village.
Yeah.
That's real.
For sure.
For sure.
My bad, Sage. Was that?
No, that was
We kind of got off topic.
We got so off topic.
We said, "Oh, Sage, that was good."
Yeah, but
no, yeah, that's what I guess excites me. And
mine is kind of similar to yours, so I guess I'll just go ahead. Like, scares me definitely childbirth itself, because like, ow, they say you don't really, you know, feel the pain and stuff like that.
Digress.
But like, my ankle's gonna be swollen and like, I just
like a little bowling ball.
Just be like
cute.
Yeah, because I'm already
really
small, so I just can't really picture that right now. But yeah. So what's also scares me, I'll work backwards. Scares me, and then what excites me. What also scares me is like raising my kids one way, or just like teaching them all these things and thinking that they're like absorbing all this stuff, and then they go out into the world and be like completely different, and not different in a way like they want to pursue their own things and stuff like that. I'm talking about like what if
like your moral compass?
Yeah, like moral stuff.
Yeah.
Like, because you know, you can have certain values and stuff that's instilled in you, and you think that passing it down to your kids could be easy, kind of, and that they're gonna like see how you are, so they might want to model that, but they could go out into the world and just be like completely different in a bad way.
Unhinged.
Yeah, completely unhinged. Like, I've seen the best way I could think about it is like, you know, say those people who like they never had alcohol before they get to college or something, right?
That was me.
But I'm talking about the ones who go like nuts.
Yeah.
Like, they literally go to college, they find like alcohol, drugs, all this stuff, and they become a completely different person.
Sex.
They become a completely different person to the point where they're like unrecognizable to you, or like I guess what would also scare me would be like if I were
the influence of the world on your children.
And if I were to raise a child that like, what if my child grows up and like I think I'm trying to do things the right way, and then they realize that they just completely disagree no matter what, and they don't want a relationship with me. Like, that would be very hurtful.
Yeah.
But then that comes with having open communication with your children from jump. And I think one thing that our parents' generation didn't do, and I don't blame our parents, I low-key blame our grandparents, love y'all, but they didn't have that open community. They didn't have a choice. So they didn't really know how to do that with us. And that's why, again, I had to give my mom, and honestly all of our moms and dads, a lot of grace because of how hard because our grandparents had it hard. They was in the civil rights movement. They wasn't worried about communication. Niggas was trying to fight for our freedom. So it's like, I get it. It was just really hard, but that's where we have to come in as this generation, as millennials, Gen Z, whatever we are, to
focus on that like emotional
aspect. What was the pyramid y'all said in the last episode?
Maslow's hierarchy. Did y'all do y'all homework? Did y'all Google it?
Yeah, I hope y'all did. It's actually really good to look at.
But I'm gonna do it now, cause I think we just need to make sure that we focus on that and having that communication and that emotional relationships with our children, so that they feel open enough to be like, Mom, let me ask you something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like,
creating that safe space.
yeah.
From
So
the
they know
jump.
that they're safe and that they can come to you. Because I know some people don't come to their parents because of
How they feel like
Yeah.
they're gonna react.
Right.
Or,
Yeah,
that's
judgment.
true. I feel like, you know, I mean, motherhood is like, I'm not a mother, but it's always gonna be something that like you can never really, they say no matter how much you try to prepare to be a parent, like you can never really prepare.
Yeah.
So like
That's very
that
true.
would be, I guess, the part that would like scare me. But what would excite me would be like, you know, just having my own little best friend. Like,
that's my little mini me.
you know,
Little
like,
mini-me.
especially, I mean, regardless of like whether I have a girl, boy, whatever. Like, you know, I like the little when they coordinate outfits, like the fun stuff, the stuff that it's like
The
cute
cute
to look
stuff.
at, not
Yeah.
really the actually, you know, doing the work part. But it would also excite me like watching my kids grow up and be like somebody great. Like no matter what they choose to pursue, like whether their interests are the same as mine, whatever, as long as they're happy and like healthy and doing what they want in life, seeing them excel and stuff, like I see the way like my parents' face lights up, you know, when I come home and I'm like, oh, I did this, or my brother comes home and he's like, oh, I did this, and they're just like, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
So like being able to have that experience where you can say like, I'm proud, like that's my
that's
seed
my
out there, like that's my
Yeah.
baby, like
Yeah.
that's I think what it would be for me.
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna piggyback off of you real quick, Gabby, because mine is actually very similar to yours. The most, like the thing I'm excited about, like you said, just inspired. Because I feel like as a young woman right now today, like we inspire young women.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
You know, so like to be able to inspire your own kids,
Right.
right? And I remember growing up and just thinking like the world of my mom, even when she was doing little things like, you know,
Same.
doing her skincare routine. I'm just like, wow, look at you taking care of yourself. I love that, you know. And
Girl,
I
you
can't
look
wait
good.
to, you know, I can't wait to be that for a child, or whether it's a little
Yeah.
boy or a little girl, you know. And I hope the things that I do, like my kids can grow up and be like, my mom did this, my mom
Yeah.
did that, you know. And like brag on me a little bit, you know, and be like you said, be proud and be like, that's my mama right there. Like I can't
Right.
wait for that.
Facts.
And then the thing that I'm most scared about is almost kind of similar to yours too, where it's like, I'm scared of the trauma that I will instill in my kids unknowingly, you know, and that's why I'm trying so hard to work on myself
Mental
before I
health.
even have kids,
Yeah.
because, you know, I remember there's like small little conversations that I've had with family members that really stuck with me.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't ever want to say the wrong thing, or like, you know, and that little moment that was so, you know, tiny, it's such a small moment to me, might be something that they remember for the rest of their lives,
Right.
you know, and it's like, dang,
Yeah.
I didn't even mean to, you know, and like cause that harm or cause
Yeah.
that trauma
That scares
to
me
you.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's real.
But yeah, like I want to make sure I'm raising my kid right. I want to make sure I'm saying the right things, dealing with things appropriately. But like you said, there's no manual to it. So it's like, you know, I'm going to just do the best that I can. But I feel like there are going to be certain things that I might say that my kid might not agree with. And then they'll come back later and be like, remember when you said that? I'm going to be like,
Yeah.
Would you do like gentle parenting?
No.
I don't know. Some of these kids deserve a little spank. A little.
I'm not gonna just beat my kids.
Oh no, yeah.
But
no.
it's like sometimes who are you talking?
I think there's certain aspects of it that I
No.
would like talking to my kid and not at my kid. That's
Right.
something that I would
Facts.
definitely adopt. But the whole, like some of these kids, like you really do. And like I've worked with kids and I've worked with kids at all different ages. And I always get attached to the bad kid. So I like, and it's crazy, but like a lot of the times you just need to like let them talk. You know, and like when they get a little attitude, you get on their level, you look them eye in eye, you need to be stern, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like gentle parenting. I don't even know what all it entails, but there are certain things where I'm like, okay, I do want to adopt that, but like the whole idea, like some of these kids are bad. Some of these kids are bad, and they need to learn that there are consequences to their actions. I'm not about to let you just think that you can just slick and slide with certain shit. Like, no, you know?
And it starts at home. And I think that's the biggest thing. Like, that's why, just piggybacking off of UK, so gentle parenting, no, but being more attentive to, okay, how do you feel? Let's talk about it. Like, how do you feel? I'm not going to talk at you. I'm a
talk
see how you feel and talk to
Listen
you,
to
and
you.
then we can go from there.
Yeah. But that's an aspect of gentle parenting. That's why I said I think there's certain aspects of gentle parenting that I feel like I can adopt, but then there's certain shit where I'm like, nah.
Yeah, no, like I'm gonna talk
Yeah.
to you, and if you keep doing the same shit, you gonna get his ass whooping.
Okay.
I don't want to beat my kids.
I ain't gonna beat. You just gonna get a little tap.
I don't want to like.
Okay.
I don't want to inflict any physical harm.
Well,
on
it was some
them.
little taps that I needed that got me straight, because I
mean,
was.
I got licks
I got some
when I
licks,
was
and I never did it
growing
again.
up, but I don't know. Like,
It depends on the
I
child
guess
too.
it is the same. Like, I would adopt certain aspects, but
Yeah.
like, because I'm sorry, like, parents be your first bullies, like for real. Sometimes,
yeah.
especially like
In certain situations,
certain
definitely.
situations, they don't really realize like what they say or like how they can embarrass you sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah, like some of these people I be seeing on the internet, like they'll go to their school and whoop their kids in front of their classmates. I'm like,
ridiculous.
that's
Really
he's gonna resent you for the rest of your life for that.
Yeah.
And you don't even realize it. So it's like I get what you're saying. I think me personally, like there was some whoopings I needed that put me. I was like, yeah, I shouldn't have done that, and I didn't do it again. So
And see, it's crazy because I never really got whooping. I was a good kid. I was just slick at the mouth, so like I never really got whoopings for. I remember one time my mom did a little pat on the shoulder, and I like had to hide the laugh because I was like, was that supposed to hurt? You know, like she just kind of did a little pop on the shoulder, like don't do that. And I was like, ooh, that's the most you ever touched me, you know. So, but it's crazy because like I do believe like sometimes a baby might need a little pop,
Little
it
redirect.
depends on the child too.
Yeah.
Because like
know?
kids respond differently, and I think I'm gonna wait to see who my kids are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait to see who my kids are.
Yeah.
We'll check back in the next like 10 years. With
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
When we have kids.
But
But yeah, for mine,
was about
like,
to say
what scares me, childbirth, obviously, because your vagina can rip, and no, it's just a lot. It's just a lot. Like, shout out to women, cause what,
shout out to motherfucking women.
like, but anyways, another thing, raising black children in America, that scares me. Raising black, when I tell y'all, every time my little brother
Ooh,
leaves the
shoot.
house, I am scared. When I am driving to work and I see these kids walking to school or walking to the bus stop, especially kids of color, I be like, oh, Jesus. I will
cover
pray
them,
over
yeah.
these children because I'm
Yeah.
like, these kids could be walking down the street, the little black boy, the little Hispanic girl, and get caught up just because they're black or brown.
Yeah.
And I've seen that so much. And it's like, I thank God that it hasn't happened to any of my family members, but it's like, that scares me. My older brother, my younger brother, my little sister, like, and if I'm worried about my siblings like that, imagine my kids.
Yeah.
It scares me, like, and then my brother's going to college in Indiana, and when he went
Oh,
to the
wow.
college visit, my mom told me, like, yeah, we went into, I guess, some outlet, it was like Gucci or one of the little nice ones. She was gonna buy him a belt because he needed a belt, and then it's like he's graduating, you know, whatever, and they were profiling them in the store.
Yeah.
And my brother made a joke, like, I'm glad you wasn't there because obviously I'm the one that's gonna say something.
Yeah.
But I was like, in my mind, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna say something because what did she say? She said, it's not like you're gonna use it to hold up your pants or something like that.
Who said that?
Someone in
The
the
lady
store?
at the store.
Oh, hell.
Oh hell no.
But yet you the one working here.
hell
Shut
no.
up. I was like,
she was both for that.
she was bold for that. And I'm like, on a college visit, imagine him just being out there.
Yeah.
Whether he gonna be with his football teammates or not. I'm like, see, because I'm not gonna be there to protect him.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing, like with my sister, we went to the same school, so I was there, she needed me.
Yeah.
You know, and my older brother, I didn't worry as much about him because the way that I view my older sibling wasn't how I view my younger siblings. Not to say y'all can't handle yourselves. But you know,
It's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and he's the calm one out of the two of us. But I'm just kind of
Okay.
like, don't speak down on my brother like that, because how dare you?
Yeah.
But it scares me because I'm like, the anxiety I feel for my siblings, and those are my siblings.
Imagine your kids.
Imagine my kids, and
Facts.
that scares me. Oh my God,
That's real.
and I'm gonna just jump back to childbirth because your vagina can rip. I'm not over it. I'm not over it. But what excites me is building the relationship with my kids and being able to be open with my kids and like, basically, yeah, just like talking to them and be like, okay, like, how do you feel? Let's talk about it, because that's one thing that I think me and my mom started to do later in life when she got help and then I started getting help. So I want that out the gate with my kids, and I can't wait to embarrass my children because I am an
So
embarrassing.
you're gonna be such a goofy mom.
I'm gonna be a really goofy
You're gonna be
mom.
such
You
a
ever
goofy
seen that
mom.
video where they threw the cheese on the baby face?
Yes, I would do that. I would do that.
No.
Yes.
What?
You just take a piece of
A
cheese
slice of cheese.
And just throw it on their
They
face.
just be like,
The baby was
they just be sitting there. They just be sitting there because they don't know what to do, or it be on like one half of their face and they looking at the other eye. We gotta show you the video.
I'm gonna be a very goofy mom, and my kids are probably gonna be like, "Oh, here she goes."
And our kids playing with each other. All right, I'm done.
Okay,
That was
back-
a little bit- that was
All we
a
needed
little
was a
bit-
minute of
All right,
that.
that was a little
Okay.
bit-
Anyways,
Sorry,
next.
no,
But Yeah, that definitely excites me. There was one more I had, but I forgot.
Well,
So we gonna move.
I guess
on.
okay.
we gonna move on. All right. So, have you experienced a significant rough patch with your mom? At what age? How did you? Or did you?
Bless you.
Sorry.
Bless you.
My gosh! How did you or did you overcome that space? God dang!
I moved the mic away. It was just
Loud
loud.
ass sneeze.
I'm weak.
I'm dead.
Significant rough patch.
Teenager,
I mean,
puberty, basically.
whoever want to go first.
I was saying no. Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay, mine was basically like that adolescent puberty age. Well,
13.
That I think mine was really in college.
Can you put an age on it?
Both. I have those.
I had both.
Can you
because
put
I
an
think it
age?
was- yeah, I think it was like 13 to like not even. It really wasn't middle school. It was like 15 to like 18, and then it was 22 to like 24. And I think because those were both instances in my life where I was coming into myself. And there were
Yeah.
things that I was like, "Ma, I'm not gonna tolerate that." But there were also things where it was like, "Ooh, I said that wrong."
Yeah.
And she was like, "Yeah, okay, I'm still your mama."
Yeah.
And then again, like that was around the time when my mom had to get help for herself just to heal from other things. And we had that talk later in life, and just realizing that was my moment where I was like, okay, my mom's a human being too.
Yeah.
And I had to really give my mom a lot of grace based off of just what she experienced. My grandmother was her love language was, you got clothes on your back and food to eat. She didn't hug a lot. Like even as a grandma, she softened up. Obviously, most people soften up as grandparents, but
yeah.
just viewing my grandmother and who she was, and I love my grandma. She was an amazing woman, but it was like I had to remember like my mom did amazing for what she had.
Yeah.
And I had to give her that grace because my grandmama was hard. That was a stone cold woman right there. She was, and I know she meant it out of love, but she wasn't a very huggy, I love you kind of woman.
Yeah.
From what I remember.
Yeah.
So
That's real.
yeah.
Yeah, that is real.
I know for me it was 16, very specific time period in my life. So I think I was a sophomore in high school, and I feel like that's when I started coming into myself. You start speaking up for yourself, because growing up, I would just kind of like, you know, your parents argue or like they yell at you and it just go in one ear and out the other. You're just like, okay, right. But at 16, I was like, okay, like you said, there's certain things that you're just like, okay, I'm not going to tolerate that anymore.
Yeah.
You start speaking up for yourself, and it's new to your mom or your parents, and they're like, whoa, where did this come from?
Right.
You know, and it's like I'm growing up, I'm maturing, you know. And my thing was like, me and my mom, we would butt heads a lot. Because her thing was she always wanted to have the last word. And my thing was, you can have the last word, but I'm going to say what I need to say.
Right.
So that's where we would butt heads a lot, you know. And then they would take it as disrespect because they'd be like, oh, if I talk to my mom, like, you know, you're talking to me, my mom would pop me in the mouth. I'm like, I'm not saying anything disrespectful. That's why I asked y'all. Yeah, that's why I asked y'all. I was like, what's the most disrespectful thing you said to your mom? Because I wouldn't even like say things disrespectful. I would just say things she didn't want to hear.
Yeah.
So then she'd be like, oh, that's disrespectful because growing up, it was disrespectful in her household.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Mom, that's your definition of disrespect. I'm not calling you out of your name.
Yeah.
I'm not, I'm not putting my hands on you. I'm just telling you things that you don't want to hear because you're not used to it.
Yeah.
That's not disrespect in my eyes. So that's where we butt heads a lot. Now, how did I overcome it? I had a conversation with my mom. You know how you said there's a time period where you start looking at your parents as humans? So I asked my mom, I was like, what was your childhood like? Like, how were you when you were my age? What was your life like growing up with your parents? And once I had that conversation, it made so much sense as to why my mom was the way she was.
Yeah.
Why she thought the things she did and why
Very
she
true.
like instilled certain things in me. So once I was kind of able to take that superhero cape off and just look at her as a human, I was like, okay, I get why you're like this. I get why, you know, you think that I am being disrespectful when I'm not trying to be because of how you was raised and you know, But that
I'm
was
glad y'all were
16.
able to have that conversation though. That's the beauty because a lot of people don't have that conversation with their parents.
Yeah.
So that's a beautiful thing.
And that's why I tell
for
people, I'm
sure.
like, if you don't know where to start by asking your parents, what was your childhood like? Because
Right.
that right there would tell you so
Tell you
many,
a lot of stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
so many things.
That's true.
Facts.
I think my rough patch, See, like, you know how we were talking about our childhood is kind of hazy? Like,
Yeah.
how we don't really
Just
remember
about to say
certain
that.
things? Like, I feel like I don't really remember much of my actual relationship with my mom from, this sounds so bad, from age 8 to, like, 15. Like, I don't really remember what our mother-daughter dynamic was really like outside from, like, this is my mom, I have to respect her, and I'm the child. Like, I don't really remember having conversations, like close conversations like we do now, or like
Right.
trying to see what she's interested in or anything like that. I don't really remember that. And I would say, I mean, I remember us getting into it. Like you said, I was slick at the mouth. I'm still slick at the mouth. I don't think that's something that's ever really gonna change much, but
Improve.
As
but
long
it's not. But
as long as you know.
but I feel like you said, it was because, you know, disrespect was being viewed as like talking back, and it's like I said what I said type of thing. And then once I started transitioning, like
said what I said.
and so as I started transitioning, like getting ready to go into college, that's when all of a sudden it kind of just came back in, like, oh my gosh, I need my mom, or
Yeah.
like certain things started to click in my head, like, damn, my mom was
She
right.
was right. Ooh,
You know, like
them moments.
those
I'm like, damn, she was right.
aha moments definitely came with age. And I remember getting to the point where, like, if I call my mom, I would call my mom and just be like, hey mom, I just ate a sandwich today. Or like, hey, I didn't really want nothing. I'm just, you know, I'm on the shuttle going to class, and I was only 45 minutes away from home. And like, I don't know, I just started being more in tune with like my relationship with her, because I guess I started to realize things for face value. So it kind of made me desire to become close to my mom, because I realized like how much I actually appreciated her efforts and really wanted her around, you know.
Facts.
And I feel like the rough patch between us was just eye-opening. I feel like rough patches in relationships are kind of necessary because they promote growth and development, whether it's in like parent relationships, friend relationships, whatever. Like, if people take the rough patches and turn them into something that they can grow from, then I think it's good. And I kind of just overcame that space with her by like having conversations. I would like challenge her a lot and ask her questions that she may not have expected coming, like kind of like about the childhood thing. Like, I know how she was raised, but then I would also ask her like, well, how would you feel if I said those words to you? Or like, if you were in my position, how would you take that? And it would kind of click, like, okay, yes, I'm her mother, but I'm also like another human being like she is, so I shouldn't say things or do things a certain way if I wouldn't want the same thing in return, regardless of the power hierarchy or whatever. Like, I would kind of question her and just challenge her, like, so you thought it was okay to say that, but if I were you and I were to say that, like, how would you take that? And then things kind of just started sinking in, and she started to have like, you know, some self-realization aspects. So yeah, I think our rough patch was like necessary, but we definitely worked on overcoming it together.
Yeah.
Good.
They're all definitely necessary. They're necessary. They-
For me, I think I said in the last episode, like Gabby was saying, my memory is so just foggy. Like, for a long period of my life, like a big old chunk of my life was like misty, for real. And I actually saw a TikTok that said that like having, you know, periods of like, you know, sadness or real dark times, depression, all that kind of stuff can like alter your memory.
I was gonna say, isn't it from trauma? You can block your yeah.
Sound about right, honestly. But so from what I do remember, like my early teens, that was like middle school age. I think that was the time that we just weren't seeing eye to eye for whatever reason. I don't even remember exactly why. Maybe just me just being hormonal and having an attitude for no reason. We would just bump heads. I remember like, I can't remember if I ever told her I hated her, but I remember when she was like going somewhere and I didn't want her to go for whatever reason. I said like, don't come back or something.
Ooh, baby.
Like
How'd
I
she
can
respond to
see
that?
that.
How'd she respond to that?
I feel like she just left, but I feel like my dad said something to me. I think.
Did you feel bad afterwards?
Yeah, I did.
Like immediately after, or like?
I think so. I think so, if I remember correctly. But yeah, just like being real, like just slick at the mouth. Like I would have slapped me in my face, honestly. But like His was saying, like I didn't really get beat
Whoopings,
or
yeah.
anything like that at all, which is kind of crazy because growing up, when I saw myself having my own kids, I'm like, oh yeah, my kids gonna get hit if they need to. But I don't know about that anymore. I don't know. But so
We'll
yeah,
check back
so
in 10 years.
no, seriously. No, for real. But yeah, so early teens and then also early college was kind of a rough patch for me. Like my first year, my mom just wouldn't like it. She just would not let me have like total freedom, which I get. I was young going into my freshman year. I was only 17.
Me too.
And I mean, I had never like spent a long time away from home before. I was living on campus, but like I would have this app on my phone, Life 360. Shout out to y'all.
My brother got that.
Yeah, and she would check my location all the time, and it would be some times where I would be a little just shady and be out late and turn my location off because I knew she would be looking. I'm just like, I do not want her in my business. Like she don't need to know where I am right now. And then when I tell y'all, every time she would text me like within a couple minutes of me doing that and be like, if you don't turn this back on, I'm turning off your phone. So
Damn.
She could do that.
that, I mean, yeah, I was on her phone plan.
Yeah, on the phone. She can
She
turn
can
Oh,
turn
just
my
turn it
phone
off.
for sure. Turn my service off, yeah. So
okay, I got the Wi-Fi.
that was kind of an annoying
funny.
time just because I was like why can't you just let me have this time to myself? But I mean, in hindsight, obviously I understand, like,
Safety.
yeah, I'm still
Yeah,
not,
especially
I
as a
was
woman.
17 freaking years old, you know.
You can't even get in the club for real.
I couldn't even get in the club for real. People would have to sneak me in or pay the damn people extra and stuff like that.
Damn.
But yeah, those I think were the two more significant rough patches I can think of with my mom. And to overcome, I mean, I don't know, I guess just time just
Time.
changed things. I don't think there was
Time.
ever really a real conversation about certain things. Probably just like conversations along the way of, you know, her explaining why she, you know, does what she does or acts the way she acts, and me trying to explain myself too. Probably not as good, but
Yeah. I have a question. Do y'all find that y'all relationship with y'all parents get better with space? Because I know when I went off to college, me and my mom, I guess because we weren't under each other all the time, we had a lot less reason to argue. So like whenever I was away, when I tell you our relationship went through the roof, and I
Maybe
was like,
so.
damn, maybe we just needed space from each other. Maybe because we were too much alike, you know?
I think with me, yes and no, because when I got space, I went ghost to the point where sometimes I know that hurt my mom's feelings, especially when I was at Clayton State, and I blame that completely on me because I was out here.
he wouldn't go home at a lot of weekends.
Like the first semester, I went home every weekend. That second semester, and I kind of blame this on the people I was hanging out with. I would stay to go hang out, and which is cool because there were weekends like they did do fun stuff on campus, but it got to a point where like I just stopped calling my mom because I know that hurt her feelings, and I was like, that was my fault. That was my fault, and it was like it was space, but it was too much space.
Yeah.
And that's actually still something I'm kind of working on just with family in general. I have a problem with not keeping in touch as much because I just be overwhelmed
I'm bad with that
my own
too.
shit.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and then trying to keep in touch with my friends, I just be like, okay.
It's a lot.
Trying to remember birthdays,
Yeah.
and holidays.
See, okay, I'm a birthday
Just to
girl.
check in.
I don't remember your birthday.
I
But
will
it's
not.
like, just,
I gotta write it down.
I gotta,
Yeah, I have it
It's
in my
not on the calendar. I
I
don't
will
know.
forget.
I'm a birthday girl. I remember, but it's like just calling, just to call.
Checking in, yeah.
And I think
Check
that's
in.
my thing. Like I call, like, oh, happy birthday, oh, happy graduation, oh, da da da. I
And
don't.
then a
just
year
be
goes
like,
by.
Hey, girl, what
How
you
you
doing?
been?
Yeah. And it's like I'm getting better, and I'm starting with my siblings. Like or my siblings and my cousins, because like me and my cousins we hung out a couple weekends ago. I went to Birmingham to see her, and it's getting better.
Yeah.
It's getting better. But I had to take care of my own mental health first. And that was the big thing. But I didn't tell anybody that. So it's like yes and no.
That makes sense.
If it makes sense. But yeah. Yeah, that was a great question, Queso. Thank you for that. So here's the next one, which is interesting. It's going to be interesting for me. What traits do you possess that you can attribute to your mother? Is it attribute or attribute?
Attribute. I think.
Attribute, okay.
Yeah.
To your mama.
I would say ambition. My mom is very ambitious, like without a doubt. She's definitely Miss I'ma get it done.
Okay.
For sure. Like while my mom was getting her master's, she was actually pregnant with Blake. And
period.
it's like I just can't even imagine like going through school and having a whole human inside of you. Like there's no way.
And already having a human, because you was already born.
Because I was already born. I was probably like 4. So it's like, at least it's not 2 under 2.
Ooh, I can't do that.
But yeah, she's very ambitious. Anything my mom wants to get done, she gets it done. No question.
Sheesh.
My mom is also funny. And she's like funny and adventurous in her own way. Like I would say we are similar in that sense, even though it may be displayed different. Like if she's interested in something, you know, like I'm a bit more adventurous than her, but now she's like coming out her shell because I think now that my brother and I are getting older and we're kind of like doing our own thing, she's rediscovering herself. I love that. I love seeing her like find herself all over again. And so now that like I kind of get to have like a back seat and like sit back and see, like she watched me grow up and like you already grown, but like I kind of get to watch you grow. It's kind of like it's pretty cool.
You never stop growing.
Yeah. So I think it's a good thing. I definitely get, I would say I get those 2 things like from my mom. My mom is definitely another, it may not be like I guess fully positive, but like we're good at communicating like with each other and about certain things, but then I guess when we're put on the spot to communicate our feelings, like from our significant other or something, we shut down. Like I'm not very good at being vocal about like my emotions, like if something is wrong, or like I'll definitely sometimes let things slide, or just push things to the side, or only bring up certain things that I feel like are really relevant, and not always just like say things in the moment that I need to say things, which can be good and bad because like we both know how to read the room and know like when something is a good time to speak up, but at the same time we definitely have like moments where we'll let things like slide and then it'll build up, and I've seen like my mom hit a point before when she like let things build up and then explode, and then I do the same thing. And then also when it comes to like affection, we are both like not very physical touch affection. I definitely get that from her. So that's something I've been like, okay, you gonna be a smart ass putting your finger on me. Yeah, that's something that I get from her for sure. Like trying to adjust to that in a relationship has been difficult. But you know, it's a work in progress. It's something that we've both been able to recognize. One thing I wish I got from my mom was like cooking, because I can make like, I guess I don't put enough effort forth. I can make basic stuff, but I don't have a desire to really be like full-fledged in the kitchen. Like my mom could spend days, not days, that's what's so dramatic. She could like spend hours in the kitchen and like pour all her love into her food, just like my grandma. But I don't know, maybe it skipped over me, hell. But I don't really have that desire to be like slaving at the stove. Like my nigga knows how to cook, and that is very happy. That's very good for me, because I will clean, but cooking, no ma'am.
Y'all balance each other out. But I think with me, my mom is a very get it done kind of woman as well, and I think that definitely helped me in life, just to all right, you don't want to do this, but you got to do it. It's going to get done either way, whether you do it now or you rushing to do it. So just do it now. And I will also say my mom taught me not to judge people based off, I mean, basic stuff, but for me, she drilled it in me. She was very, very big on diversity. And she always taught me to treat people the way I want to be treated. And I love that she drilled that into me so hard. And she's just really big on just knowledge is power. And I just love that she gave that to me because I'm really big. I love research. I love history. I love English. And I've always gotten that from my mom.
Nerd.
Hey, man.
Nerd.
She's like, nerd. I'm like, that's beautiful.
That's so beautiful, you dork. But yeah.
So me, I don't know. Like I can't really recognize too many traits that we share yet. Maybe I will over time, but I know that we both definitely are kind of natural nurturers. Even though sometimes I'm kind of like, ew. I feel like I do have that quality somewhere in me
You
of
do
being
have
a
a very
nurturer.
comforting like spirit.
I try to.
You flip flop.
I that's the thing, and I think that's
flip-flop.
with my mom too. Like, not really, cause she's more like round the clock nurturing.
But she's a mom too, so
Yeah.
she has
She's
that
had time
aspect that we don't have because we're not mothers. So I think a lot of mothers are natural nurturers. Like they have that. I think we have that as women, but when you become a mom, it's like
kicks
heightened.
in.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like she's probably gonna have it more than you because she's a mom. And I think once
Yeah.
you have kids, it'll be a little different.
It'll be different, no,
Yeah.
for sure.
I
No,
see
for
it
sure,
as you
sure.
being like how I said you have a comforting spirit. Like you're a good listener.
Very
So
much.
like, is
You are
she
very
like,
much.
is she a good listener too?
Sometimes when she wants there are many times, more than I can name, that I've had to re-say things a couple of times because her attention span is not great. But I think she is a pretty decent listener though when she really focuses in. But so yeah, I guess that's something that I get from her too. My mom is not good with keeping up with people, just like Kelsey was saying.
Yeah.
How she is, my mom is terrible at that, and I think I'm not good at that too. I've been trying to be better and trying to actually like acknowledge the fact that I need to check in with people more. But yeah, like previously for sure, I was just not checking in on people that I should be. So that's not a good trait, but that's something I get from you. Sorry, mother. And also being kind of like a worry wart a lot of the time, just kind of being like
Did you say a worry wart?
worry wart. You never heard that?
No.
I'm so sorry. Just
wart-
being
a worry wart.
a worry wart, like like a person that just like worries about things.
I thought you were
Sometimes
trying to say a worrier, and I was like,
No,
that's
worry.
not how you
Worry
say it.
wart.
Worry wart.
worry
I just
word.
picture like a wart like
oh gosh. So
Yeah.
sorry, the culture class right there. But
Worry wart.
yeah, so she be just worrying about things, like just showing like hyper concern over things sometimes, and just kind of just
my mom's like that too.
being like that.
Ever
My mom
since she
is
hopped
too.
on
I think
social
that's a
media,
mom thing.
sometimes like she'll be like, "Did you see? There was this," or if I'll be like, "Oh yeah, I'm
Yeah.
going here. Yeah, this kid just died there." I'll be like, "Girl,
no,
shut
seriously, and that annoys me about my mom. But I feel like
Sorry.
I do that sometimes too, like in a certain kind of way.
That was mean. I definitely just saw her shut up on camera. Sorry.
I take it back.
And that's why she would be like, "Gabrielle, you disrespect."
But other than that, I can't really think of any
That's
right now. I can't really think of any right now.
It's hard. It is
Yeah.
hard to like. Sometimes you don't really realize traits and stuff that you get from your parents until like, it's time to sit down and like look dead in the mirror. But like,
That's the trait I got. I'm a
it's
mirror.
tough.
Yeah.
I stole my mama face. That's the trait.
For me, I would definitely say like my mom, she's always had a very strong head on her shoulders. So I feel like I've definitely gotten that from her. There was a time where she was a single mother, so like she always taught me like be able to do it on your own.
Yeah.
Same.
You know, never
Yeah.
rely on a man. Of course, it's gonna be nice to have, you know, a shared income with your husband, but like,
just in case.
you know, just in case, be able to pay your own rent, pay your own bills. Like, never rely on a man. And she was like, you know, if you get a man with money, like, that's nice too.
Facts.
But be able to do it on your own. So I've always had this like independent spirit from her. And my mom was always very involved. So like she was always volunteering me to do shit in the community. Like, oh, I'm gonna sign you up for Girl Scouts. And then like she was our little Girl Scout leader. She's like, oh, I'll do this, right? We was in church and you know, they'd be like, oh, who wants to read a little poem? So they'll do it. She could do it, right? Always involving me in things, always volunteering me to do things, right? I was like, how you knew I wanted to do that? I didn't do that, right? But I appreciated it because it definitely got me out of my comfort zone. And believe it or not, y'all, I was a shy kid once upon a time.
What?
But like, I know, right?
I can't.
I was
can't
a
see
shy
that.
kid. I was a shy kid, but she really helped to like push me out of my comfort zone. So just always being involved, right? She's very caring and like she's almost to the point where she's a little too caring.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, Mom, that's not your like that isn't your issue to worry about. You know, like relax a little bit. So
she's a mom.
I definitely have a caring spirit, but like that's one of the things I had to unlearn. Like not to
Caring
where
too
it's
much.
where it's at my disadvantage or where like my mental health is starting to be compromised because I'm worried about other people. But yeah, those are the biggest things, like my independence, having a strong head on my shoulders, and then just wanting to be involved and caring.
I'll definitely say the independence thing too, because my mom was a single mom. But I did miss one. My mom always taught me how to persevere, so I wanted to quit track in the 10th grade, and I'll never forget it. She said, "No, you're not," and I was like, "I don't want to do it no more." She said, "Give me 3 reasons." Because I'm tired. Tired of what?
Yeah.
Going to practice,
not.
something you got to do
No, you're
to
not.
get better?
She said, "No, you're not." She said, "This is what we're gonna do." She wrote down the word persevere. She said, "Do you know what that means?"
Ooh.
And me being slow, I was like, "No." And she was like, "Yeah, that means pushing through even when things get hard." She said, "So no, you're not quitting track."
Period.
One thing, my mom is very athletic too. So like when I played volleyball heavy, she's like, she bought me volleyball books, and then she was like, "All right, let's get in the yard. Come on." She's very, you're gonna do this. You're not gonna quit just because you just don't want to do it. There you go. And I think I'm the athlete that I am today because of my mother.
Yeah.
So shout out to you, Jenny. Hey girl. But no, I that should have been my first one because I'm very much like that. I'm like, okay, what are we quitting for?
Yeah.
Like let's keep
No giving up
yeah. But
in a healthy way.
yeah, for sure. Not too toxic, but you know, shout out to you, Mom, because you really did push me through some hard times. But yeah, shout out to moms, man. So this is an interesting question because I think we kind of touched on it already, but what specific parenting techniques or styles from your mom do you see yourself mirroring onto your kids?
I would say probably the importance of, I don't know if this is like a parenting technique or style, but like family quality time, like spending time with family members, friends, like just keeping your support system close. Like my family's always been very close knit, and I think it's because of like the mothers in the family, you know, like that lineage of moms who've like been making making things happen to like instill that closeness. From when I was young, my parents, especially my mom, would always say, at the end of the day, it's just you and Blake. Like, God forbid something were to happen to your father and I, it's just you and him. So, like, always making sure that I know, like, my sibling, even though, like, we had times where we would bump heads and stuff like that, he's not my enemy. Like, that's my brother. Like, you gotta look out for your sibling and just be there. And then also, like, she always says this, figure it out. And I used to hate when she would be like, figure it out, because sometimes I would come to her and ask a question, and I'll be like, God damn it, I'm asking you because I don't know.
But one day she's not gonna be here.
And that's the thing. Like she would say that, and I would be like, I'm not trying to think like that. And she's like,
That's
I'm not
true.
saying it to be like negative.
Yeah.
But
it's the truth.
My mom
sometimes
does that a lot now,
we're
too.
not gonna be around. I'm not gonna be there
Yeah.
to hold your hand.
I'm just like, shut up. Don't say that.
Yeah, no, I get really triggered
out
when my
my
mom
face.
talks like that, and I'm like, okay, next.
Yeah.
But I
Real.
get it.
So like figuring it out, if that's a style or a technique, I'm definitely gonna be the figure it out type of parent, because I definitely feel like I've learned a lot of things and became the woman that I am today because of like trial and error, like
Yeah.
learning some things and then like failing and then like getting up, doing it again. Just being there for my kid to like push them to get what they need done, but also not like coddling them to the point where they feel like they can't go out in the world and like
Yeah.
that like the world's gonna be sweet to them, because it's
Facts.
not.
Facts.
So I would definitely say just like pushing that idea of like, it's okay to figure things out and like not be okay for the moment, but just don't stay there and just get back up and just do it again, or
Yeah.
do what you need to do to like get back up and be there.
Yeah.
And be there for family members, friends, like create that safe family environment for your family. That's something I definitely would say I would want for my future kids.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
No, yeah, for sure. I would say for me, parenting styles I can think of that I see myself mirroring from my mom is treating my kids like totally equal. One thing I can say is that there was really no like difference in how my mom treated me and my sister, which I do see in a lot of mother relationships, especially with like two daughters.
Or a daughter and a
or a daughter and a son,
son.
no,
Daughter
for
and a
sure, for
son
sure.
could
Daughter and a
be.
son for sure. But no, yeah, that's one thing that I for sure want to make sure I implement. If I do have more than one child, treating my kids completely equal, because they notice it obviously, and I think that a lot of the time it can really cause a lot of trauma, and really influence how they go about life when they get older.
Shout out to you for that.
That's a good
Yeah,
thing.
no facts.
Because that's big. Like, that affected me in adulthood. And me
Yeah,
and my
no,
brother,
I believe
we
it.
didn't get cool until he got older. I had to have my own talk with my brother. And I had to, like, literally tell him sorry. Because it was times where I would just be mean to him for no reason. Because I resented my mom. So, parents, if you do that, stop. Because it's ghetto.
Yeah, it's crazy because I have a friend literally just like that. She's an older sister and has a younger brother, and her mama really just treated him so different. And yeah, I don't want to. I definitely don't want to do that. If
I think
can
it's
help
because
it.
they learn from their past mistakes from the first child, which is great.
Yeah,
But it's also like,
It's like
it sucks, but it's like, I'm glad that you don't have to do or go through some of the things that I went through. But at the same time, like, I think one thing that parents mess up on is, okay, I did this with this one, so I'm not going to do it with this one, instead of trying to make sure that you don't do it with either one
yeah,
or all of them. That's the
Yeah.
problem. Like, I'm glad you realize that, but you still need to,
Right, you can still change how you treat me though. Like
Facts.
when you do learn that you might have treated me not too great,
Apply it to me too.
apply it
Apply it to me too.
like, I'm
It
still
ain't
here. I'm still here.
Exactly.
I'm still hurt. It's okay.
like,
It's too late.
Exactly. But also teaching my kids appreciation. Like, I was the opposite of spoiled, I would say. I mean, maybe spoiled to a certain degree, but I wasn't getting new clothes and new shoes. Like, I would be going to the shoe store saying, "Oh, I want these." My mom would be like, is there a cheaper version or knockoff?" And it would hurt my feelings because I would have friends that would have like name brand stuff and nice things. But I mean, it did teach me to be frugal later in life. I think there's a balance. Me, I'm kind of cheap because of that, but I'm still like really appreciative.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm still really appreciative. It's like I be scared to spend money on things, which I think
I wish.
to a certain
I'm
degree
not.
is not
Girl.
a good trait to have.
We
Like
could-
you
we could
should
trade
be able to
spots.
treat
I
yourself.
don't do that. Because at the end of the day, that trade will give me more. Keep
Keep more
more money in my pocket.
money in your
Right.
pocket.
But there gotta be a balance though. There gotta be a balance.
Me and food.
We could trade places.
Because
Me
I be
and
having to
food
check
be
myself.
fooding.
I'm like, why am I getting this great value version of this brand?
Okay, I do that too.
Why,
Though.
like
Not too
but
much.
things like that, like, and then not wanting to spend money on nice things. So I'm like, maybe this could go towards something, but knowing that I could put the money towards a nice thing and treat myself, but
Yeah.
I wish.
finding a balance.
I would say find a
Teach
balance
me the
too.
balance. God damn it.
No, you have a problem.
I do.
Oh no, for sure. Yeah, we do got a
we
problem.
need
Yeah,
to
he's
do
a
it.
sneakerhead.
Intervention.
Okay.
Yeah.
we need an
Not even a
intervention off
sneakerhead.
camera.
She thinks she needs a new outfit for every.
Because I do.
It could be
New
a game
trip.
night. She's like, oh my god, what am I gonna wear to the
Yes.
game now? I'm like, girl, if you don't find something in that damn closet.
Got so
Absolutely.
many things. Oh, look at these shoes I just got. Never seen her wear them.
Yeah, they sit in my closet. Okay, anyway.
No.
Intervention off camera.
but yeah, definitely teaching my kids appreciation for the things that they have, and not
That's good.
spoiling a little bit, but not Right.
not OD. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that.
That was good.
For me, it's actually very similar to Gabby's, where like my mom, she always said that like she felt like I was very mature for my age. So when it came to making decisions, like she wouldn't tell me what to do, but she would be like, okay, this is what I would do, or she would give me guidance and then make me, you know, make my own decisions. But like you said, there were certain times where I'm like, Mom, I really don't know what to do, and she would still be like, whoa, this is, you know, let me tell you what I tell you. But at the end of the day, you gotta make your own decision. So that's something that I definitely appreciated, because like you said, it does teach you how to, or like even what resources can I like, you know, utilize, who can I reach out to find the answers, because that's something that you could take with you in life wherever you go.
Facts.
And then just getting my kids involved. Like I said, my mom, she would always sign me up to do things, or if there was a program, she'd be like, is this something that she was interested in? So like growing up, like I did things like karate, cheerleading a little bit until I found my niche.
You were Daniel's son?
I did karate. Yeah, I actually went up to like a purple belt, and I would have kept going, but we moved.
You can kick some ass.
Moved. I mean, I was in the first grade, so what ass was I kicking? I did a little,
so that.
you know.
Susie down the block.
But no, I loved karate. I loved it. I would have stuck with it, but we had moved. But she put me on the step team, dancing. Like she just always, no, I did a lot.
On the
I
yard.
was on a step team too in middle school.
What?
Yeah, middle
Y'all,
school,
that's not fair. Y'all's middle schools had cool stuff.
We went to school like
Had
this.
that.
So I would definitely
dance
like,
team.
you know, just kind of nurture my child's
volleyball.
abilities. You know, I think that's what she really tried to do. Like, okay, what is it that you're good at? Let me water that. Let me
That's
nourish
beautiful.
that.
That's beautiful.
And yeah, I thought those are the biggest things.
Those are good.
Did I go?
I don't
I think
so.
I don't think so.
Oh,
I think I
well,
started.
Just piggybacking off of my last answer, perseverance. I'm definitely going to teach my kids that. I'm going to find a balance, because sometimes you can't force your kids into everything, right? And it's like, if you really don't want to do this, you don't find any joy in it, you don't have to.
Yeah.
But you have to give me a good reason why.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, because I actually ended up liking track. But it's like, I was very talented as an athlete, but I was like, I don't want to do it, based being influenced by those around me. And I really just want to teach my kids, like, nothing that you do is going to be easy in life. Nothing that you do is going to be easy in life. I can help you as much as I can, but one day I'm not going to be here. You know what I mean? And you're going to have to fight through some of these hard moments. So I really want to teach my kids perseverance, and I'm very, very glad that my mom taught me that, because I wouldn't be who I am today if she didn't. And I also just want to I just want to make sure that my kids, and this is going to be hard because we talked about social media, especially with younger girls, but my mom always made sure to tell me, like, you're supposed to be here. And she told me the story. I'm not going to tell the whole story because it's just a lot. But basically, I wasn't supposed to be here. Like, I didn't have a heartbeat in the womb for a while.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, and the day they were going to take me out, the nurse was like, no, we have movement. And she was like, if you ever think you're not supposed to be here, you are, because you're not technically supposed to be here.
Oh, that's deep.
So I just always want my kids to know, like, you're here for a reason. You're just as important. Like, I just always want to give that and make sure my kids know, like, you're important. You are loved. You are beautiful. You're handsome. Whatever will have you. Yeah.
Because life will try to treat you like you
ain't
like
shit.
you're not supposed to be here for
Especially
real.
being
For
little black and
sure.
brown
Yeah, for
kids
sure.
growing
Yeah,
up.
for
You
sure.
know how that go. But yeah, man, that's amazing. That's
a good one.
Yeah. What have you done or are you doing to try to heal from issues with your mom? Therapy. I'm gonna say it every time. Therapy, and Jesus.
I would love to go to therapy with my mom. That's something I'm trying to get her. Because my mom, I asked my mom, I was like, have you ever been to therapy? Because my mom done been through some things and she hasn't gone to therapy before. She's been to like marriage counseling. But I'm like, have you ever just been to therapy by itself? Yeah, or for yourself. So I think that's something that she's still, because like even growing up and in her household, like therapy wasn't really discussed. And like even when it came to like the sex talk, she had the sex talk with me younger. She was like, I'm gonna have this talk with you because my mom didn't have it with me when I was your age, you know? So the idea of therapy is new for her because that wasn't something that they talked about growing up. You know, mental health was very much so like
Taboo,
put on the back burner.
Yeah,
No,
for
nothing's
sure.
wrong with you. Pray about it. Oh, you fine. You know.
Yeah.
So I would love to like go to therapy with my mom, not just do therapy with myself, but like, you know, we have relationships, and then you go to therapy for your relationships. It's like, okay, well, my relationship with my mom is a relationship, so I would want to, you know, have that relationship therapy with
That's
her.
good.
That would be nice to go to therapy with
Yeah.
my
That's
mom,
a big
for sure.
step too.
I would love to do family
Girl.
therapy.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
Get all y'all little
I
heifers
don't
up in
know
this
about
room.
that.
Come on, we got some things to talk about.
With my mom, definitely. With my sister, definitely. With my brothers, maybe. But be all.
With your father?
I would do therapy, all four of us. Like, definitely we
Yeah.
all sit down and, like, just, hash things out or, like, get another perspective or some outside insight. I would definitely like to do that. But to heal, I would say we don't really have, like, many issues for real. But we just keep that open, honest communication. And we spend time together. I know, like, all of our schedules are, like, busy. Like, she works and everything. I've been in school for the past my whole life. And now that since I'm done with school, now I have, like, more time. So that's something I am looking forward to, like, spending more time, like, with her. But, sometimes I'll just try to, like, pay attention to detail and ask her, like, okay, how was your day? Or, like, how are you feeling? Or, like, do you have plans this weekend? Like, just be attentive and just keeping that open and honest communication, I think, helps, like, heal whatever parts of you may be damaged that you may not even know actually exist.
Yeah.
So I think just being intentional and conversing about things that we have going on in our life, and like, I like hyping her up when she's, like, doing certain things or, like, reaching certain milestones or like trying to get her out her comfort zone. I feel like all those things collectively, like, heal and help our relationship is, like, mother-daughter.
Beautiful.
That's good. Yeah, like, I can't really think of any prominent issues that we have right now. I would say that we could do better with just having more conversations just about general things, checking in with each other. Me and my mom haven't really ever talked about, like, real mental health stuff, just because I feel like she wouldn't completely be able to understand just about certain things I've dealt with, because I really don't know if she's really dealt with mental health, like, issues. Well, I'm sure she has, because she's been through a lot of things, but that's just never been, like, a topic that's ever, like, arose, even when it was evident that I was very much depressed. Never really talked much about it. Like, she would definitely show concern and be like, do you think you want to start therapy? But I would just kind of shut down. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why. But yeah, so I do think that we could benefit more from just having conversations and learning more about her past. I feel like I've learned more. I really learned more about their past from my grandma, but I think talking to her more,
Getting her
would be
perspective
nice.
on
Yeah,
it.
getting
Yeah.
her personal perspective on her upbringing
There's two sides to every
is
story.
definitely
Yeah.
something that
Yeah.
we could dive into some more. Yeah, for sure. Just to see, how she grew up, because she went through some things. Like I said, like, she lost a sibling.
Oh, wow.
A bunch of stuff. So, yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, well, that was a beautiful conversation. That was definitely a lot easier than the last
Yeah.
episode
Oh, for sure.
that we had.
For sure.
'Cause, child,
Ciao.
it was child. But we do have a writer in her by the name of Judith, who is Gabby's auntie. Hey,
Auntie.
auntie.
Weird, sweetie.
So, what's weird, sweetie? This is the question. Do you think your mom had trouble letting you grow up or letting you go?
Absolutely.
Yes and no.
Absolutely.
Like, in certain areas, she was like, okay, go, do your thing. Like, when she dropped me off, when she moved me in for college, she was like, you're going to have so much fun. Like, da-da-da-da. And I
That's
think
good.
there were certain things, too. It wasn't her having a problem with letting me go. She was just so used to, I'll just do it. Like, I'll do it. Like, doing my taxes. Like, I think she tried to teach. And granted, I wasn't interested in learning because I was like 19, 20 years old. But she was like, I'll just do it. And it's not because she was like, oh, I'll just do it. I'll just handle it for you. It was just because she's just so used to doing it. She's like, I'll do it. Don't worry about it. Like, it's fine. Just, I'll do it. And so it wasn't like having a problem letting me go. I think it was having a problem with, not even having a problem. She just didn't realize she was just doing stuff, certain things for me. and that it was hindering me, but it wasn't her fault. It was just
You good? You know when your pants spread up and it squeezed the fuck out of your thigh?
Yeah,
My thigh, I was losing circulation.
her leg was gonna start turning purple.
I was like, oh, let me just adjust her. I tried to do it quietly.
Look, you
quietly.
real graceful with it. You was real graceful with it. I didn't notice until Gabby looked over and I looked over and
All I feel is something in
You
the
two was
corner of
gonna
my
see it. I
eye,
was
like.
Okay, I'm good now.
But yeah, nah, not a problem with letting go. I think it was just more of letting me do certain things by myself. But I think she just wanted to make sure that I was straight, so she just went ahead and took care of it. So, yeah.
I definitely think the opposite. My mom, anytime like we reach any sort of milestone, she cries, and she's just so like I remember one time she said something like, I forgot what we were doing, or one of us, I think Blake or one of us was gonna go somewhere or do something, and she was like, I was like, what's wrong? She was like, I'm just sad because like the older y'all get, you're not gonna need me anymore. And I was just like, oh, like I was like, we're always gonna need you, mom, because like you're our mom.
Facts.
But you know, the older you get, of course, the more like hands-off parents become. And I've always kind of had that independent like spirit. I remember she said when she dropped me off at pre-K, like she dropped me off, and I was like, okay, bye, mom, and just like, yeah, I just like walked away.
She cried.
And she cried, and there's actually a photo of us. It's like me, her, and my dad, and I'm just like, you know, kind of just walking ahead, or she's trying to hug me, and I'm sitting there, I'm looking like, get off me, and kind of just was like, you know, go ahead, like I could conquer the world, I could do anything, which it's a good thing, and it's a beautiful thing, but I know it's like a mom, it's probably kind of like hard sometimes to see like your baby just like going off and just going out there, like moving me into college the first time, definitely was emotional for her. Second time, like when we moved me in, like the start of like sophomore year, she still got a little sad, but like not as much. So it's like little by little I see like her, you know, being okay with like pulling back, but even still, like certain things I'll be like, okay, I'm about to head out, and she'll be like, oh, it's late. I'll be like, girl, I've driven on the road like at 10 o'clock at night before. I'm an adult and stuff. Like I know, you know, I may seem like I'm always gonna be your baby, but I'm not a baby anymore. So I definitely think my mom has had some difficulty like letting go here and there, but ultimately, like, she does let me be free and be like who I am, and she never stops me from reaching any height that I want to reach. Like, she's always told me like, go after everything you want because you can do anything. So
facts. That's beautiful.
I love that.
What was it? Letting go. Oh yeah. Well, like I said before, when I moved into college, my mom was very much a stickler for keeping my location and knowing where I'm at and checking in on me every single day. So I definitely think she has had issues letting go. My mom, I know, she never lived like on a college campus. She was living, you know, under her mom's roof until she got married, I'm pretty sure.
I think my mom
Ooh.
I think her mom
Till
has
she got
told me that
married.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They never got to like live by themselves for real.
No, like
don't
my
think
mom
so.
lived with my dad when they were like engaged, but she never lived like on her own.
Yeah, never lived on. Yeah, so
Shout
I
out
think
to
that
your
definitely,
I can't do that.
that definitely influenced how she, you know, has issues with letting me go. Like even still, like for last night, for instance, I was going out. You know, I was leaving the house. It was probably after 11, and she's like, "Why are you going out so late?" I'm like, "Why not?" The club don't start until 12.
I'm in my 20s.
The club don't even get lit until 12:30, 12 o'clock.
1 o'clock. Aunties,
Like,
Ladies, leave your man
listen.
at home. Club is full of ballers and their pockets full grown.
But no, seriously. But no, I definitely think she has had issues with letting go. I think she's starting to do better. She's definitely I think I was kind of coddled to a certain extent for a lot of my life. So now I notice myself being like turning to my mom for answers and like help and questions, and she'll make it a point to have me like figure it out myself, or be like, you know, you're gonna move out eventually, you need to figure out how to do this, or things like that. So I think she is kind of giving me the push to fly a little bit more now, but it definitely wasn't always like that becoming an adult.
I know for me, my mom was one of those moms where she would always be like, "Oh my God, I can't wait for y'all to get out the house." And then when we get out the house, she don't know what to do with herself.
Yeah.
Like, I kid you not, when it was time for me to like go off for college, like she did not want to leave. She was like, "I'll clean your bathroom for you. Let me make your bed. Let me put the sheets on your bed." She was like, "Do you want to go get lunch?" We went down the street to lunch. Like, she was not ready to drop me off. Right? We get in the car. I kid you not. As soon as I'm like turning towards her, I'm like, "All right, mom." She was strong until this point. I was like, "All right, mom, I'm about to go." She like buzzed down crying, and I was like, "Oh my God, I was not expecting that. You love me for real. You didn't want me to leave."
Yeah.
But like, you know, they always be like, "Oh my God, I can't wait for y'all to get out the house," and then they get out the house and they don't know what to do with themselves because they almost kind of
Chicken with
lose
no
themselves a little
head.
bit. So like, my mom, like growing up, like I said, she was always, you know. She allowed me to be independent, allowed me to make my own decisions, and she wasn't very strict at all. Like she was a hands-on mom, but she wasn't always up in my business.
Yeah.
So I don't think she had too hard of a time letting me go, but it was like it's different, you know. Like if you're used to having someone in the house all the time and being around them all the time, and like my mom would always say, like, you know, you're the light. You know, you light up any room that you're in, and like, you know, you're such a light to the family. So like, just not being around, she was like, "I'm gonna miss you, Cydia."
Yeah.
So like, she did have a hard time, like, you know, letting me go in that aspect. But like, my mom has seen me like grow up and has seen me like grow into the woman that I'm becoming, and she was always like, you know, very proud of me. So like, I feel like she was prepared to kind of let me spread my wings and fly. So I don't think it was too hard for her, but for any mom, it's gonna be, you know, it's gonna be hard to, you know, let your baby go.
Agreed.
Sure. Thank you for that question.
Yes. So we have reached the end of the road of this episode.
Still I can. We wasn't still going. Okay.
I'm just playing. So y'all know that we always have our house life sis, but we're actually going to take this moment to give our mom some praise that it deserves to hear.
Yeah.
So, me?
Go ahead.
Okay. Shout out to you, girl. Mom, you are such a strong woman and you deserve the world, but I also just want to tell you, like, don't be afraid. You have great ideas. You have amazing ideas. Don't be afraid to pursue those ideas, because if anybody can do it, you can do it. And yeah, I love you. And I know we be having some times, but we getting better, so love you for that.
I love that.
For real.
That was so beautiful. March.
March.
Big March.
March.
Mommy, I would just say I'm so proud of you for taking a chance on yourself and just going after everything that you want. You deserve nothing but the best. You inspire me to be a better version of myself. And just like you love watching me grow, I love now that I have the opportunity to watch you grow and spread your wings and fly. So you're literally like the epitome of what a strong, beautiful black woman
Period.
is. And I'm so grateful to call you my mom, and I love you so much. Yeah.
Hey, Maxine, girl. The most Jamaicanest name ever.
Maxine. I never knew that was your mom's name, bro.
Hello, mother. You are a great lady, okay? You have a very, very just kind, beautiful spirit, and I really appreciate you for that. I think that you definitely leave your mark on everybody that you meet. You treat everyone with kindness, with love and care, and that's admirable for sure. I'm very proud of you. You have been, hitting goals that you have made, though they have been, later on in life, better late than never. And yeah, I'm proud of you for that. You became a realtor. You did that.
I know that's right.
Period. And you're trying to do your thing with this acting. You're taking them classes, trying to get some roles, girl.
Come on.
Do what you gotta do, what you gotta
that's
do.
right.
Live your dreams, and I love that. It's never too late, and it definitely inspires me to do that for myself. Yeah, you're a great lady, and I hope that you know that. And I hope you feel appreciated by me and my dear sister, because we love you to death. I promise you that, girl.
To life.
For real. To life. We love you to life. But yeah, happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, y'all.
Happy Mother's Day, Mama. So yeah, my mama's name is Wendy. I be calling her Wendolyn just to mess with her. I'd be like, okay, Wendolyn. But Mama dearest, I love you so much. You've always been there for me. You've always been there for our family and your husband. But I want you to be there for yourself now. Like I said, it's getting to a point where like all of the kids are starting to leave the nest, and like I can tell that she's like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do, right? And I'm like, and I'll ask her, I'll be like, what are your hobbies?
Yeah.
What do you like to do? Like, you know, we are making our own money, you know, so I want you to start spending money on yourself, you know,
Or
like
what's something you always wanted to do?
right, you know, I want you
It's
to
never too late.
start getting back to what you like to do, like getting back to who you were before you started having kids, because, you know, we're getting older now. We're getting older. We can take care of ourselves. I want you to start taking care of yourself and get back to doing the things that you love to do. And like you said, your mom is like rediscovering herself. I want you to do that for yourself as well.
Same.
'Cause you deserve that. You've done so much for so many people. You know, like I want you to give all that attention that you was giving us back to yourself now. But I love you so much, and you've always inspired me to be the best. You did a great job at raising me. You know, I will give you that.
Shout out to
And
Wendy.
I always didn't, you know, we butt heads, and you are so stubborn to this day.
To this day.
To this day, you little stubborn, little high-headed thing. But I appreciate you. I love you so much, and thank you. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being my mama.
Love that.
You said Wendy. I thought of Wendy Williams, and I thought of how you doing?
How you doing, Wendy?
Oh, and then my mom named Janine. I didn't say that, but hey, girl.
Janine.
Hey, Miss
Bro, I feel like I
Jenny.
never.
Yeah, my mom's name is Janine. Everybody call her Miss Janine.
Wow.
Or Jan. She go by Jan.
like
But
Janine.
the real shocker was Maxine for me, bro.
I'm
That-
so-
I thought her
Maxine.
mom's name was Maxine. I know that.
That was the first.
Oh,
person
Maxine Walters.
I just started thinking, I know this
Murder,
little
She
girl
Wrote.
name is Maxine.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. So, well, that is the end of it all, you guys. We love talking to y'all, and we hope you enjoyed this episode.
This is so different from
It was
episode 6.
very
It
different. It was a
was.
lot more lighthearted. Not
For
to
sure.
no shade to the daddies, but it was just hard.
Maybe
for
a little
us,
shade.
You know, just being transparent about things. I think. But yeah, it's all love. We love y'all, and happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day
to all the mamas,
all the
all the young
mamas,
mamas.
yes.
All the mamas.
All the mamas that are no
all
longer
the
here.
Expecting mamas.
The grandmamas.
All the grandmamas. All the step-in mamas. All the aunties that act like mamas.
Everybody.
All the step-mamas. All the godmamas.
All the people that ain't mamas that be having to mother some of these people.
Yes.
All the mothers of the
Adopted
friend
mamas,
group.
the foster mamas.
All the foster mamas. The friend group mamas.
The friend group
The friend group mamas.
If these niggas are your sons,
The
Mother's
mamas.
Day.
happy Mother's Day.
So dead.
Period. Anyways, love y'all
Love
so
y'all.
much. We'll see you in a year.
Bye.